Kane is?
Yes.
He's one of the voice actors in the world. He's the voice of Yoda. He's the voice of the narrator of Clone Wars, you know, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Anakin Skywalker. I love doing my Tom. He's great. He's Admiral Yularen. He's Donald Buffalo was going mobiles. He's every Disney movie trailer you'll ever hear. He's fantastic. Let's see. What do we got here? This is Jesse. Where's Jesse? Okay. What was your favorite story arc in Clone Wars? Great question. How many of you watch Clone Wars? The show. It's about Star Wars. You find Clone Wars? Yes. I was listening to Jedi Knight, say what you call. I can do other kids too. All right. My favorite story arc, it's a toss-up between the Mandalorian stuff and season 5 that was with Darth Maul and Satine. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, so if people haven't seen it, spoiler alerts, cover your ears, avert your eyes. No, there's some very touching moments in that, and they were great. There's also a really great one called Deception. That's where Obi-Wan played Reiko Hardin.
Yeah.
You know that one? Yeah. So that day, I had a really bad allergy attack, and I had this great resonance to my voice. And it was cool because I was doing 2 parts. I did Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then the guy that shoots and thinks he kills Obi-Wan Kenobi. And Matt Lancer, again, testament to his acting skills. He's right next to me. We got the scripts. So whenever we did Clone Wars, we would get the scripts as we walked in the room. We'd get them, and that's it. So when you hear Obi-Wan saying, Anakin, she's not my girlfriend, it's the first, second, or third time I've ever read that line. I didn't, because we're seeing it all right there. And so there's a part where Anakin believes Obi-Wan to be dead. And he has to say Obi-Wan. And you think, oh, okay, that's pretty simple. Right? Matt Lancer gave an A, B, and a C take. So you give an A, B, and a C, that's 3 different takes. First one is A, second one is B, third one is C. So when you hear them say, give me an A, B, C, that means not tonight on A, B, C. That means give you 3 in a row and make them different. So again, you don't want to give the same take each time. For all of you that are learning to be voice actors, learn to say things differently. For all of you that are learning to be voice actors, learn to say things differently. For all of you that are learning to be voice actors, learn to say things differently. It really helps. So you want to be able to say things differently in your head before you say them out your mouth. And Matt had to say Obi-Wan, and he said it in this way that, like, I'm next to Corey Burton, and we're both like crying. It was so touching. It was just like, because he just put everything in it, because he thought Obi-Wan was dead. It was so sad. So that one was very dear to me as well. But I really love the stuff with Satine. Anna Graves is a fantastic voice actress, and she did great. I wish this cord came out longer. I want to kind of see all of you. Who was your favorite Clone Wars character other than Obi-Wan? I liked O.C. Sobek. I thought he was pretty cool. O.C. Sobek was a bad guy. And Dave Filoni called me up one day and he said, hey James, and that's my Dave Filoni. James, we're doing a new character, and we're wondering, I love that you guys actually get this. This is my revenge to Dave, because see, whenever we were doing Clone Wars, Dave would sit there and go, well, you know, George says, so you guys want to do it. So he starts doing George Lucas. So now I'm doing Dave Filoni, because he's kind of our George Lucas there. So he says, we're wondering about a character if he sounded like Christopher Walken, what would that be like? So they gave me the script of just some lines of his character, and he said, play around, they give us a couple different takes. So I gave him one that was straight Chris Walken, you know, crazy Jedi, I get you, wow. And another that was a little more, you know, over here and there. And then somebody after hearing it nailed it. A fan actually nailed it. He said, it's Al Pacino and Christopher Walken, and it is. So you take a little Al Pacino, hoo-ha, ding dong. He can say anything, it's just weird. He's kind of also become, I mean, he's Jim Natowski from Taxi. So I took them both, and O.C. Sobek is Christopher Walken meets Al Pacino, hoo-ha. So, I love doing him. He was fun, but I got to do so many other great characters on that show. Every episode, when they bring you in as a voice actor, you do your character, and then you do at least 2 other characters in the show. So if Jedi Master Plo Koon is in the show, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Master Plo Koon will have a conversation together. Jeez. And people ask, how do you track it? Do you go through and just do all the Plo Koon stuff and then all the other? No, I do it just like that. I prefer doing it like that. Some actors like doing it the other way, on-camera actors. It's always fun when you do a show with somebody that's an on-camera actor. You guys know what I mean when I say on-camera actor? Somebody that spends their time in front of the camera. Voice actors spend our time behind the microphone in a little padded room talking to ourselves, which is better.
I always talk to myself.
So they, they're always very uncomfortable with it. They're like, well, I gotta stay in character. And we're like, yeah, whatever. We just fly around. We love doing it. So I love doing all those ones. So, okay, this is, okay. They want this in a character I do by the name of Johnny Test. Anybody? A lot of parents think, yes.
Okay, so, what are your thoughts when a cartoon or movie you voice, it gets negative reviews, whether by critics or audiences like Johnny Test and most recent Ratchet and Clank movie?
Well, boy, that's a really nice way of giving me a criticism. No. Yes, thank you. So the Ratchet and Clank movie, it's really interesting. Has anybody seen the Ratchet and Clank movie?
Yes!
I thought it was quite fun. I thought it had a nice little message in it. You don't have to do big things to be a hero. You just have to do the right things. That's a good message. It had a nice storyline. It had some actors in it. Paul Giamatti was pretty good. John Goodman, Ella Thorne, Rosario Dawson, I thought was fantastic in it. But it also did something very important. It kept the voice actors from the game. So,
Yeah!
but see, we had to go up against this little thing called Disney. And I've noticed that right now, if a movie is not a Disney film, they go, well, it's not as good as a Pixar movie. And I think, well, Zootopia, great movie.
Really great.
Sure, can't deny it. $200 million to make Zootopia. 8 years in the making to make Zootopia. They can go back and change things. They can do this, that, change it around. Ratchet and Clank was made on a $20 million budget. Now we all go, $20 million, that's pretty good. For an animated movie, that's insane. That's nothing. We had very little time. So I'm not making excuses for it, but it's like, I don't like when they hold them to the same degree. Plus, because it doesn't say Disney on it, I think that there's some, they're trying to be an animated thing and stuff. I thought it was a beautiful movie. I thought it was well done. No, was it a Zootopia? It wasn't. But it was, I still thought it was pretty good. Yeah. Johnny Test, people don't like Johnny Test. Why? He's so cool.
People can find him annoying.
Do we have any other questions?
I just wanted to say something. I've been a fan of the Ratchet and Clank series since I was like 12. I played the third one first.
I'm so old.
I grew up that series.
Thank you.
And I just recently watched the movie, and I thought it was amazing that, as you said, they had the same voice actors.
Yes, very good.
To be honest, that's the best video game movie I've ever seen.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Again, I think it was a fun thing. I hope people go see it. A lot of people I meet at the cons, they go, have you played the game? Like, I love the game. Now, the video game for Ratchet and Clank, based on the movie, based on the game, is the fastest selling PlayStation game of all time. And the movie, everybody I see, they go, I played the game. Have you watched the movie? No, I haven't seen it yet. I'm like, support the movie. Support the movie, because if you don't see the movie, then there won't be another movie or a TV show or any of that stuff, because they're going to say, well, it didn't really make any money. So, that's the way it works, unfortunately. You don't sell toys. There was this show called Thundercats.
Yeah.
And then there was a wonderful remake of it a few years back, and I got to play on that too. I was a couple characters in it. And you know why it didn't happen? Because the toys they broke and they weren't good toys. So they went, well, we're not going to make any more of that show. So that's the way Hollywood looks at things sometimes. One in the back there.
What's the #1 piece of advice that you would give to aspiring voice actors?
Okay, now we're talking. I don't know how much more time I have. I don't know if anybody's watching the clock, but...
We still have like 20 minutes.
Okay, good. Because I want to spend some time asking you guys some questions, and I also want to tell you about voice acting. So voice acting, there's a lot of different things to do now. Everybody kind of wants to get... When I was a young man, many, many years ago, I was a young man, and I did stand-up comedy, and that was in the 80s, and everybody wanted to be a stand-up comic. Now it's the, what are we in? It's not the 20s, it's the
2010s.
And everybody wants to be a voice actor. And I think it's wonderful. But I also know that there's a lot of information out there now. So Voiceover Voice Actor is a book by Yuri Lowenthal, who's the voice of Ben 10, and Tara Platt is his very talented wife and voice actress as well. They wrote that book, and it is very informative. There's other really good books out there. D. Bradley Baker has a website called iwannabeavoiceactor.com. Does everybody know who D. Bradley Baker is? Yeah. For those of you that don't, he is the voice of every single clone in the Clone Wars. He is the voice of more characters on the Clone Wars than any other actor. And now I've played a lot of characters. D, I think, maybe even doubles the amount, because he's one of the most versatile voice actors, because you don't even know you're hearing a human being when you hear D most of the time. D has this ability to create creature voices. So in movies, when you see a creature, a lot of times that's not like an animal that they took. You know, with Chewbacca, we all know they took bears and things like that. D can replicate these things. I mean, from a fly to crickets, to bears, to dragons, to creatures that are bigger than this room. And he does it all with just his voice, and sometimes he might take like a cup or whatever. It's an amazing gift. And so he has a website, iwannabeavoiceactor.com. And then also, I see that you have many questions there still, so I'm going to go through them later, okay? I promise. And,
okay.
And there's also many other references. You can go on my website, jamesarnoldtaylor.com, and click on the videos and more. And on the videos and more, there's a links page. You can link to all the various things. But here's the thing I want to tell you if you want to be a voice actor. First off, love every opportunity you get to be on a microphone, because it's a gift. It's a wonderful job. It's the best job in the world. And why? Because you're all here saying, oh, I love that show, or I loved what you did there, or because it fuels the imagination more than anything else. Storytelling is beautiful and it's wonderful, and the truest form of storytelling is telling a story with a wonderful voice. There's nothing better than being able to tell the Chronicles of Narnia to my daughter at bedtime, and I say, let's read through C.S. Lewis's work here, my dear. And she says, yes, good, and then I get to do all these various voices. Now, if I was an on-camera actor, could I do it? Yeah, but it's not as cool. It's just, I don't know, there's something magical about voice acting, because it still gets back to the real essence of storytelling, in my opinion. So, love it. Know what you can do with your voice. Know what you can't do with your voice. Why? Well, you don't want to hurt yourself. There's plenty of people that think, oh, I do this great creature voice, and I do this. Can you do it for 4 hours and never drop out of it? Well, I think I could. Great. Talk to me on the 5th hour and tell me how you feel. You may not realize it at the time, but then a day later, you may realize you've actually permanently damaged your throat. So you've got to be very careful. You've got to know what you can do and can't do. The other thing to remember about voice actors is Jim Cummings, Billy West, Jess Arnell, all these guys, they're an anomaly. There's not many, there's thousands of voice actors out there. There's thousands of voice actors that make a very good living doing voice acting. I'm very blessed to be one of those folks. I'm also very blessed to be one of those folks that's in that small group of people that has a range to do it. And I don't say that like, oh, I'm like, right. I know that, you know, I know that that's what I've got my work doing, is doubling celebrities and doing characters and stuff. But not everybody does that. And the point is, that's okay. There are some fantastic voice actors that make a wonderful living doing one voice, or one variation of their voice, or 2 variations, or an accent of that. Or, I mean, you look at Richard Horvitz, you know, he is an amazing actor, and he does so many characters that we know. But Richard, if you talk to him, you go, oh, I just do one voice. You know, I mean, he's like, he thinks he's just this, but it's like, no, he does so much with what he has as this beautiful, I mean, he's got a wonderful texture and sound and tone, and, you know. So, you don't have to do a million voices to be a voice actor. That's the biggest note. And then the last thing I would say is read out loud all the time. Wherever you are, get comic books, read them out loud. Dr. Seuss, I love reading Dr. Seuss, walking around my house. Redfish, bluefish. Green eggs and ham. That Sam I am, I do not like that Sam.
Do you like green eggs and ham?
You know, I love it. It's just fun. And that's what it's about. Finding the characters and then reading cold. Cold reading, you guys know what I mean by saying cold reading? Cold reading is picking up something that you've never seen before and reading it as though it's the first, it's just coming out of you naturally as though it's your own words. And that's what true voice acting is. Because most actors that come in, that are on-camera actors, come in and we find out, bless you, that they've got the script a few days beforehand. We get it right then. So, okay. And so now, are we still having fun?
Yes!
Any other questions that yes?
What was like working at the Strong Together show?
Okay, I want to bring this up. There's a show called Drawn Together. a very adult show. I don't do adult shows. I